So I just wanted to kick off this first session with talking about the youth group at Masjid Khadija and like how we're going to carry this on later on. And whenever the issue of youth comes up, the least you can do is break it down into two. The first is talking to the youth, and the second is talking about the youth. So inshallah, in the talk today, I will share some things about the youth, and then there are going to be some things that I'm going to say to the youth that are here. So in that way, inshallah, some of both things will get addressed. So I would like to just start by emphasizing the importance of this topic today, because youth are the ones who are going to carry the message of Islam today to the next generation. Like Brother Ismail said yesterday in the khutbah, that we are the ones who have to carry the flag. But the way I like to say it is we carry the torch of Islam. So if we have a strong body of people, of young people that are carrying the torch of Islam, we will have this Islam go on for many generations. But if we don't, we will no longer have Islam. So youth are the most important asset of the Muslim community. There's nothing more valuable and nothing more powerful, and at the same time, nothing more delicate. So we should never lose sight of this priority and task of raising the youth in a way that they continue carrying the torch of Islam. And so we build a stronger next generation. Now, there are a few obstacles that all parents face raising their children in this culture and society that we live in. So we all know that young people are very impressionable, right? I'm gonna be having you guys participate in this too, all right? So the youth are very impressionable, is that right?
Yes.
So they take most of the influence from the outside world. What they see around them changes the way they speak, the way they dress, the way they interact, who they interact with, and so on. So all of it is from the outside. Nothing is from the inside. Nothing is from inside themselves. So now let's talk a little bit more about the reality of the Muslim youth today in 2011. The first thing I want to say is that Muslims in general, we like to think of some things as better than they really are. In some sense, we're pessimists. In other sense, we're optimists. And sometimes we're delusionally optimists. What that means is we hope to think things are okay when they really aren't. So now there are three major tendencies in this society that are present as obstacles for young Muslims. And I'm going to go one by one, and these aren't only a part of the American society, but they're growing universally and at an alarming rate. So the first of those three obstacles, that tendency that I mentioned, is the proliferation of shamelessness. Do you guys all agree? There's a widespread of shamelessness everywhere in the world now, especially here. So shamelessness is becoming widespread, and it is becoming very common. In Islam, the standards of shame are constant. They're set in stone, if you will. They don't change over time. They don't change over generations. They're set in stone. And but I'm talking about the spread of shamelessness even beyond the standards of non-Muslims today. Like 100 years ago, America was a lot more shameful and modest than today. And over the years, because of the advancement in technology and mass communication, what has also been mass communicated is shamelessness. And so using filthy language, seeing filth on the screen, seeing filth outside, seeing filth at school, seeing filth on campus, seeing filth at college, seeing filth at work, seeing filth on billboards, seeing filth on your iPods, phones. It's everywhere. It's really common now. And all these things are, like I said, becoming very common. So the reason I'm mentioning this is because, when something happens all the time, you've become used to it. It doesn't seem wrong to you. So what I'm trying to say is that in our society, we have gotten accustomed to some extent to corruption. And when you see corruption, it doesn't bother you on the inside, then that means your heart has become hard. And when the hearts are no longer soft, what is also weak? Your iman, your taqwa, the fear of Allah. And the more the fear of Allah is, once the fear of Allah is gone, you don't have a problem looking at the filth and all the bad stuff that's going on. And the more you look at it, the more harder your heart gets, and the more you get distance from your deen and Islam. So that is one of the tendencies in this society, the widespread of shamelessness. The second tendency in this society is extreme individualism. What I mean by that is we care so much about ourselves that we don't care about anyone else. Everything is about me, 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 me. What did I get for my birthday? What car did my parents give me? Why aren't my parents paying for my tuition? Why aren't my parents sending me to such a good college and all that stuff? So everything is about me, and in Islamic standards, our first concern is supposed to be Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, obviously. And then after that, family, and then community, and so on. So you spread out, and there's nothing about you. And so you're supposed to be more selfless than selfish. And the best way to help yourself is to serve Allah. So the best way to be selfish in Islam is to be selfless. So it's kind of the opposite. But in this society, everything is about yourself, and so the young people don't even care about, forget the society, forget the world, the community. They don't even care about their families anymore. Like the young today, the youth today, they don't even care about their families. And so they don't care for their siblings, they don't care for their parents, because it's not what they want to do. And even when they're arguing with their parents, this might ring up a few bells, when they're arguing with their parents, they're like, you never let me do what I want, Does that ring bells?
That is true.
Yeah, so, that counts me too. I've done that, I know I've been through that, so I always say, you never let me do what I want, So everything is about me, and that's what, if that isn't extreme individualism, I don't know what is then. So children are supposed to be raised on the principle to look out for their family first, after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, obviously, and then community, and then society. So people are raised as a concerned citizens, if you will, in that way. And that is the natural thing in Islam, but our society is such that we become extreme individualists.